Hello Internet, Andrew Wong here again for LPX Studios. I'd like to welcome you to my very first product versus episode. Today's combatants are going to be between the LG Tone Pro and the Samsung Gear Circle, which I am wearing both of them right now. Now I mentioned, I think about a week ago, that I was going to do my very first product mashup video, so here it is, folks. I've tested both devices thoroughly for a little bit over a week. 2 weeks for each headset, and so today is going to be going over all the pros and cons of each one and tell you which one's better and who wore it better. Now, just to try to differentiate myself between the other videos out there, I'm not going to focus on the technical aspects of the headphones too much, and just pretty much just give you a real world usage. A take on it. So I'm gonna go over things like battery and comfort and sound level and all that kind of stuff too. But at the end of this video, I'm gonna give my personal opinion on which one's better. But at the end of the day, you can have a different opinion than me. So without further ado, let's dive right on in. So battery, which one lasts longer? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the boxes and see what they say. For the LG Tone Pro, talk time is 15 hours, music time is 10 hours, and standby time is about 21 days, so a little bit over 400 hours total. The Gear Circle says talk time is up to 11 hours, music time is up to 9 hours, and standby time is up to 300 hours, which is 100 hours less than the LG Tone Pros. Why is that? Well, it's because the Samsung has a smaller battery. It's got a smaller compartment in the back for the battery, while the LG Tone Pros are huge. And they have a huger compartment for a bigger battery source. How do these numbers really look in the real world? I can tell you guys right now, both headsets lasted over 2 days in my usage. I used these headsets to listen to music at work. It's not like I listen 8 hours straight at work. I typically listen for maybe a few hours throughout the day, and I would just turn off the headset or put it on standby. And both headsets, I don't care about the numbers on the box, real world use, they lasted anywhere from 2 to 5 days on just on sporadic usage and stuff until I needed to charge them. After the first initial use, I went home and just went ahead and plugged it in, just like I do with my Gear S and my phone. So it's just another outlet to plug it into. But both headsets lasted a good time. So I say, at least for the battery part, they're tied. I know on paper the LG Tone Pro wins, but for practical usage, they're both tied. They're even. Now, sound quality. Which one sounds better? And to be honest, both of them sound about the same. And with the LGs especially, there's an LG Tone Pro Plus version out there that's $30 more. I can't see it sounding any better, just because both of these are earbuds, meaning that compared to headphones, the buds go right into the ear. So the sound quality it's already dampened and it's going straight into your ear canal. So it sounds loud and you're pretty much zoning out the rest of the world when you're listening to these headphones. So sound quality was about the same for me, just like the battery. They're about even. I tried them back to back a couple days and see if there was a difference. I really couldn't tell. I'm not really a sound guy, but they both sound about the same. They both had the same level of noise dampening. I work near a phone group, so in my department, and I could barely hear the phone group when I had them on. So they're both on par with one another. So as of right now, it's tied 2-2. So let's move on. All right, enough of the technical stuff. That's all I'm going to cover on the technical side. Let's go with the real world use of it. Now, functionality. Which one has the better controls? Which one feels better in controls? So let's start off with the Gear Circle. Now the Gear Circle only has 2 buttons. 1 for power on and off, and 2 for pretty much play and Bluetooth. It's just like the headphones that come standard with like the iPhone and stuff. It just has a simple a play button where you press it once to play and pause, you double click to skip forward to the next song, or you press and hold to bring up the Bluetooth command. It's pretty straightforward. I think everyone's pretty much used to that kind of headphone setup anyway, but that's pretty much how it is on the Gear Circles. And one thing I want to mention too, the controls, unlike the LG Tone Pros and other Bluetooth headsets of this kind, they're right on the earbuds. So if you haven't seen my other review, the way it works is you gotta pretty much, instead of grabbing down here while you're moving around, you gotta pretty much go up to your ear to press it. So it's like the old Bluetooth headsets, if you can think about it. Now another thing too, volume control on the Gear Circles are right underneath the play and pause button. So you know, when you're working or running around, the way you adjust volume is you just gotta simply touch it up or touch it down. Simple flick, and it's actually quite sensitive, so I was really surprised by that. But at first, I really wasn't a fan of it, just because I thought it was weird that I had to go to my ear. But when you really think about it, that's pretty much a natural habit anyway, especially for those of you who've used Bluetooth headsets in the past. How does it compare to the LG Tone Pros? Now, the LG Tone Pros have a lot more buttons than the Gear Circle does. If anything, it differentiates all the buttons out and pretty much designates each button for a specific function. So, the LG Tone Pros, what do they have? They have the typical on and off. It has the Bluetooth button. It has the volume up and volume down button. It also has a pause and play and skip forward and skip back button. So pretty much all the MP3 controls that you would need on a headset. So it's quite nice to be able to have full control of the Bluetooth headset. It's very easy to use. It's right, it's located right in front of your neck. So so on the right side deals with media, and on the left side deals with volume and Bluetooth commands. So which one do I like better for the functionality? Well, even though I got used to the Gear Circle's controls and it was seamless, I do prefer the LG Tone Pro's controls over the Gear Circle, just for the fact that it pretty much lays out all the functions. And especially for me, I like to listen to music. Being able to skip backwards is a plus for me. Like the double click and play to skip forward, it isn't always as responsive as you like to be, because sometimes you just end up pausing the music instead. With the LG Tone Pros, it's differentiated, so you can go ahead and go forward and back. So just for that fact, I'm gonna give this round to the LG Tone Pros. How about the earbuds though? Which one's more comfortable to wear? And at the same time, which is the most easiest to put down and put up? Let's start off with the LG Tone Pros. Now, the earbuds for the LG Tone Pros are located right at the tip of the actual units. They have a little magnet piece on the side of them that allow them to just kind of rest right into the headset part there. And to be honest, it's very easy to use. So after you put it on, you just simply pop them off and then put them right into your ear. And it fits very snugly. These earbuds actually work really well. So it comes with additional earbuds for large, small, medium ears. Just adjust it to your liking and go ahead and use them. But as soon as you put them in, they feel snug, they feel very good. They're not loose at all, and it sounds really good. Even now that I have them on, I can feel like the dampening around the sound. And once you're done with them, all you do is simply take them out and then just click them right back into the slots, and then you're done. So very easy to use the LG Tone Pros. But how about the Gear Circles earbuds? Well, it's different. So instead of being on the side as the LG Tone Pros are, the Gear Circle pretty much hangs in the front like a necklace would. And the way you use them is actually really easy too, because they're just magnetized at the tips. So you just go ahead and close them like that. But to take them off, just snap them apart and then just put them on like regular earbuds. And they fit in right there. Now with these, compared to the LG Tone Pros, they're not very confidence inducing. Meaning is, the way that they're shaped is they're the earbuds that are shaped to not only fit into your ear canal, but also the little section right outside the ear canal. So there's a little ball, and then there's the earbud piece. So it feels very weird because it's not fully into your ear canal. It's kind of like hanging on the tip, and then the rubber ball part is resting in your inner ear area. And to be honest, when I first put these on for the first time, I was really worried that they were just going to pop off easily. It wasn't very confidence inducing. But at the end of the day, I kind of realized that although they come out very easily, that's only when you pull on them. But once you have them in there really well, they actually sit in there. Because the way that these were designed, it was to actually roll around in your ear as you moved. So it kind of moves with you. All right? Now the only issue you're going to have is if the back piece is falling down, it's going to tug at it, so when you lean forward, it's just going to pop right off. But that's what this whole little neck brace is for when you're using the Gear Circle. But all in this thing, it's actually not that bad. It's actually quite comfortable as well if you think about it, because the LG Tone Pros are sitting right into your ear. So for some people, they might not like that. For these ones, it's kind of like a half into the ear canal, so it's a little bit less intrusive. And it feels okay. It's light too. And then when you're done with it, you just simply pull it off to the side, click it in, and you just let it rest. and that's it. But for this round, I'm gonna have to give this point to the LG Tone Pros again, just because right off the bat, they're more confidence inducing than the Gear Circles are. Even though I got used to wearing the Gear Circles, some people might not like the fact that it feels loose all the time. A lot of people might want the whole snug fit right from the bat and not want to have to deal with having to worry about it. So LG Tone Pros take that round. So which one's more comfortable? I can tell you right now, after a week of using both headsets, they're on par with one another, but in different ways. The LG Tone Pros, let me go ahead and take these Gear Circles off really quick. So I'm wearing both devices at the same time, which is kind of weird. The weight difference. To be honest, they weigh about the same. The Samsung with the plastic piece weighs the same amount as the LG Tone Pros are. I can argue that the LG Tone Pros are a little bit more heavy because of the bigger battery. But how does it feel when you actually wear them? What's nice about the LG Tone Pros, they come on and off very easily. Like you can just imagine like they're a pair of headphones and you're just resting them on your neck, and that's what it feels like. But they're light enough and small enough that sometimes they fit very well under some dress shirts or at least under the collar on t-shirts. They dress just fine. Even though you're gonna feel it at first, after wearing it for a few hours, you end up forgetting about them. Like even I forgot I was wearing them until a friend of mine pointed it out to me. Hey, what are you wearing around your neck? So it's very cool. So, but the one thing I have against these things are, especially for you fitness buffs, they're gonna fall off if you lean back. Because as you can see here, there's nothing stopping it from the front. So leaning forward is fine, going side to side is fine because it catches it on the neck piece. But when you lean back, oh, I can't do it here, I'm not on a proper chair. But trust me when I say this, when you're laying down, these guys will kind of separate and they'll just fall right back. And then especially while you're wearing them, put it on here, you don't want this thing tugging on you. Like as it falls down, it's gonna tug on your ear and it's gonna pop right out. So the earbuds aren't going to stop it. And that's the one thing that I found a gripe with, because I was sitting at, I found that out because I can't work out because of my angle right now, but I found that out while working. I was sitting in the office chair and I was just like, I was listening to the music and I just went to stretch. So I leaned back on my chair and my chair goes back pretty far and all of a sudden my headphones just popped right off. So they're actually very loose. So I would just be careful about that. If anything, if you're going to wear a t-shirt with it, like, kind of fit it snug in there. But that was my one negative about it, but everything else was fine with it. Now, the Samsung Gear Circle is a different story. Without the plastic piece, it almost feels like you're not wearing anything. It feels like just like if you wore necklaces before, it'll be very seamless. It's just gonna hang all over your neck and then just hang right on in the front. And it's non-intrusive on the side here as the LG Tone Pros are, so you don't feel anything on your collarbone. But my recommendation for these things, you have to wear the plastic piece in my opinion, because it prevents the back piece from rolling around up and down. Because especially when you're wearing them, if they roll down your neck and your back, it's going to tug on the headphones and pop them out. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling. This little plastic piece, they give you 3 sizes, but it's very confidence inducing, and at the end of the day, it doesn't feel that bad. If anything, it just feels like you're wearing the LG Tone Pros, but without the extra plastic pieces. But these, my one complaint about them is that the front. So the LG Tone Pros, they just hang on your collarbone, so it doesn't really mess with the front area. And especially for people who wear dress shirts and stuff, it doesn't mess with the buttons, or it doesn't really stick out to a lot of people. But these guys, they're gonna rest in front of the shirt, and even if you put it under it, you're gonna have those little bulges coming out of your chest. So it's kind of weird. But at the end of the day, it blends in quite easily, because I've worn these for about a good week. And then at work, no one's really questioned them, no one's really noticed them. So that's not really a major complaint. And to be honest, compared to the LG Tone Pros, these feel lighter. It feels less intrusive because it just doesn't have that solid plastic piece there. It's just that one solid neck piece in the back, which is pretty tiny, and then you got the 2 earbuds that kind of connect in the front. So for comfort, I'm going to give it to the Gear Circles, just because it feels more practical, and going back to my fitness reference, these won't fall back, not because of the front pieces, but because of this little neck card. So this is another reason why you want to wear this thing, this little plastic attachment, because it actually makes it fit snug onto your neck. And then even laying down, I did test this when I was at home and in my office. I leaned back and everything, and it made me move a little bit, but the plastic end pieces caught it, so it wouldn't move. So big plus there. So this round goes to the Gear Circles. All right, I know some of you are going to ask this, so here's another quick technical thing. So which one has the better voice commands or microphone? They're about the same again. To be honest, you can't really get too high quality with these mics because they're so tiny. I know that might be maybe an incorrect statement, but both of them work just fine. I tested both of them with Google Voice and S Voice. Everything was picking up just fine, and all the speech to text was working well. I could do some videos of those if you guys really want, but you guys just take my word for it if you want to trust me on this. But they're both about the same, so they're both tied in that aspect as well. So the one last thing I wanted to point out was unique functions that the headphones may have, and unfortunately for the LG Tone Pros, because they were designed for as a generic headphone used for phones, they don't really have anything that differentiates themselves from the other headsets. But for the Gear Circles, on the other hand, if they're paired with another Samsung device, they have some neat functions built into it. So one cool thing that I really enjoyed was the fact that for the auto pause and the auto call end on the headsets, and the way that works is between the little two magnet pieces at the end, because it actually does have a sensor. It actually knows when they're close and when they're apart. So what's cool is you can be listening to music, but then let's say you get called off. So like, you know, I'm listening to my tunes while working and everything. All of a sudden my boss calls me. I just go ahead and take them off, clip them in, and the music pauses, which is very cool. And it's a really cool battery saving function on these things. Because if you compare it to the LG Tone Pros, they don't do that. Even if you put your headphones off and you click them back in, it keeps playing music. So at the end, you could actually end up using, even though it has a better battery efficiency, you could end up using more power than you would using the Gear Circles. Because most people in a busy day, they're not paying attention to what they're doing. They just take it on and off. So that was a really big comfort for me. Because if anything, I think I found that the Gear Circles lasted longer than the Tone Pros did. Slightly, but still, just that little function there really helped. And even during calls, it does the same thing, where you're in the middle of a call and you're done, it will end it if you close it off. So that's another plus. So another cool function that the Gear Circle has over the LG Tone Pros is that even though the LG Tone Pro does have a little vibrating device in there to notify you of calls, the Gear Circles kind of one-up it if you have a Galaxy device by allowing you to receive notifications as well. So just like what you can do with the Gear watches, with the Gear Circles, you can actually go into the Gear Manager and tell it to say, hey, I want to receive notifications for not only phone calls, but texts, emails, Facebook, etc., etc. And what's cool is, let's say you received a text from Line, you know, it buzzes and the little lady in the headphones says, you know, message from Line, and it actually reads it out too. So it's actually quite a nice function. I mean, it got a little bit intrusive when I was listening to music. It was like, I mean, you know, I'll be listening to something, all of a sudden the lady pops up and everything. But that's another cool thing. So even though I have my watch, it's nice that it actually reads it out to you while you're using it. So it was just funny. That it was just a nice little quirk that I liked about it. Now, another thing that the Samsung Gear Circle has over the LG Tone Pros that I know some of you are going to actually ask about is that it does have adjustable sound quality. You can actually go into the Gear App Manager. This is if you have another Samsung device paired to it. You can go into the Gear App Manager and you can actually adjust the sound levels, the acoustic levels of the Gear Circles. So another plus there for me. All right, guys. One last thing before I drive it home. Let's go over prices. So in this head-to-head, the LG Tone Pro wins in the price level because these are retailing at $69.99. while the Gear Circles are retailing at $99.90. $30 price difference there. So a lot of people might say, you know what, I can't justify $30 just for this guy. And then the thing is with the LG Tone Pros, there is a plus version of these that are on 100, but I wouldn't recommend that if you're gonna go with these because I don't think you're gonna get 30, it's not gonna be that much of a bigger difference. You might as well save the $30 and get yourself like a Google Play card or something. But for price, the LG Tone Pro wins. But what about the overall picture? Which one would I choose personally? So I kind of went over a quick couple facts because there's really not much to go over on these headsets. And at the end of it, I kind of walked around my office and through my friends too, and I kind of asked them which one they liked more. And overwhelmingly, the Gear Circles won. And even after telling them the price difference, they were just like, they would prefer to pay for the extra comfort level and the usability. And even though I said that the Tone Pros may have won the comfort level, the Gear Circles won. And in my opinion, the Gear Circle wins this competition just for the fact that I think they went outside the box a little bit. And if you do, like, you can go right now to Best Buy, you'll see like 3 or 5 other models of the LG Tone Pros between like Motorola and the other companies. And Samsung kind of went a different route. And after showing them side by side, every single person I've asked preferred the Gear Circle over the Tone Pros. Because number one, they said it looked cooler. Number two, they actually liked the functionality, being able to take it on and off like this instead of having to kind of use your fingers to put the headphones away on the Tone Pros. A lot of them tried them on too, and they said that even though the Gear Circles felt like they felt looser than the Tone Pros, like I mentioned before, they actually liked the fact that they can roll around and really wasn't as intrusive as earbuds were. So a couple of them were actually notorious earbud haters because of the fact that they hated having something embedded into their ear, but they didn't mind the Gear Circles because it really wasn't a true like in the ear thing. So another plus for that. And for me, guys, like if you've seen my videos, I'm more of a usability guy. So like which one's easier to use, which one's more practical for the day-to-day aspect of, you know, just everything in general. And the Gear Circles does it for me. Just because it really does complete, especially for me because I have the Samsung Note 4 and the Gear S. It just completes the circle of devices for me because they all communicate with one another. So it works very seamlessly. The LG Tone Pros do fit in that picture as well, but it just because it doesn't have that extra added features, it loses for me. But for those of you who do not have a Samsung phone and have other Android devices or other phones in general, the LG Tone Pros might be the best for you in that aspect because it does have all those controls for you, and it'll save you $30 if price is an issue. But even if price is not an issue and you don't have a Samsung phone, the Gear Circles might still work for you in that aspect. Alright guys, I think this video's gone long enough, but once again, the Samsung Gear Circles win in my book, but in your book, it could be very different. And I would like to hear it, so please go ahead and leave your comment down below, and if you've used these headsets as well too, please let me know your opinion. I would love to hear it. If you thought the LG Tone Pros are better, or if another headset was better, please go ahead and let me know in the comment section. Alright guys, well thanks again for stopping by, and once again, although I did say that the Samsung Gear Circles won in this mashup, you may still be a fan of the LG Tone Pro, so I still encourage you to go and get either one of them. If you have any other suggestions or comments about these devices or questions, please go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, and I'd be more than happy to converse with you about that. Also, if you liked or disliked this video, please go ahead and leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the icon below. And also, if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button to support my channel. But I really do appreciate your time, and thanks for stopping by and watching my reviews, and if you see my other videos. But once again, thank you, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Or, sorry, before I close, if you have a suggestion for another Versus or another mashup video, please go ahead and let me know. The next one I plan on doing is actually going to be the Samsung Gear VR versus the Oculus Rift DK2 and the DK1. So it might be a triple threat match. So it'll be that. So thanks again guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.